Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I've come up to Loch Chon in the Trossachs. It's one of the quieter of the Trossachs lochs, and as you can see behind me, we have a perfectly clear day, very still, very calm. So I'm going to do a little bit of woodland photography today, but I'll almost certainly be including some of these amazing reflections as well. So let's go. It's incredible. Those ripples that you can see in the water are actually ripples I made about 2 minutes ago as I was walking through part of the loch to get to this side of it. It's so still it's taken that long for them to die down. Sounds like they're felling some trees on the other side of the loch. But apart from the sound of that and the occasional crash of timber, there is absolutely no sound. A fish just rose on the surface there. You see the ripples. There must be some fish under the surface. I may actually just stop at this point, see if there's a shot here with the grasses and that beautiful reflection in the background, and then I'll shoot in this direction because those reflections and those trees are absolutely beautiful. And we've got the added bonus of having these water lilies in the foreground. I may need a polarizer to cut down in the reflection a little bit in order to actually see those water lilies, but that is beautiful. This is just beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so I'll show you in the back of the camera here. This is the composition that I've set up. I'm using this little green tree here at the edge. I'll just point it out here, this tree here. And beautiful reflections. I'm shooting at 50mm, and that is allowing me to exclude the sky above and also the reflection of the sky below. So I'm basically just including a strip here. And what that's allowing me to do is to get the whole thing in one single exposure. I don't have to worry about bracketing because the sky burns out or whatever. I'm just excluding the sky completely. The main subject, I guess, is these beautiful reflections. That's what I'm trying to capture. And I've got the reflections pretty much running directly centre through the image. I might actually zoom in a little bit more on this single solitary tree with that little rock behind it and see there could be a square crop there. But for now, this is the shot. I'm also going to shoot this line of trees here and see if we can make something from that as well. Same idea, exclude the sky, exclude the reflection of the sky. And by shooting this one, I'll be able to include these water lilies that I was so interested in earlier. But this is absolutely beautiful. The only thing that's annoying me slightly is there's midges still. I thought the midges would be gone by this time of year, but I'm being eaten alive again. Anyway, I'm going to grab this shot. yeah, the little bit of rain that we've got just now has chased away all but the bravest of midges. Unfortunately, there's still quite a few brave ones, but it's destroyed the perfect reflections. Even on this side, where I was shooting earlier, the reflections are kind of broken up a little bit just because of the surface isn't quite as smooth. Hopefully this is just a little passing shower, and we'll return to the glass-like surface, but for now it looks like we've lost the reflection. Well, and just like that, the rain drops and the reflection kind of comes back, and almost immediately the midges are back at their feast. I've shifted my attention from these trees here to that little tree, which is almost forming a perfectly circular reflection, and I'm trying to shoot that just now. I've still got the polarizer on, and I'm right in at 105mm. I'm on a 24 to 105mm lens, so I'm zoomed right in. I might actually have to swap lenses and get the 70 to 300 on in order to fill the frame with that. But I kind of like that. It's quite a simplistic shot, but what I like is the colours here. There's obviously a range of colours, and we've even got some of the trees in the background starting to change with the autumn. But we've got some reeds here along the side as well, and again they're producing an interesting reflection. So I'll take this shot just now, and then I may well just put on the 70 to 300 and see if we can get a little closer. Right, I kind of like this, the line from that tree that I was so taken with to these bare trunks of trees that you can see. That looks like quite a nice reflection. My problem is I'm right at the water's edge, and as soon as I set foot in the water, I'm going to create ripples, and that's going to destroy the perfect reflections. So I'm kind of treading around carefully, trying to avoid stepping in the water. But I've said it before and I'm going to say it again, absolutely beautiful, beautiful conditions. Right, telephoto lens is on, the 70 to 300, and I've zoomed in quite tightly on that tree. I'm including just a little hint of this one as well. I'm at 200mm at the moment, and that's pretty much filling in the frame. Right, settings update. I thought I'd let you know what's happened. I noticed there when I got the telephoto lens on and I was zooming in, and when I was right at 300mm, that there was just a little hint of motion in the image. And I think what it is the ground that I'm standing on is quite spongy, and I think I've been shooting at about a second and a half exposure, and I think my weight plus just the undulation of the spongy ground is introducing just a little bit of camera shake. So what I've done is I've increased the ISO to 200, and that's allowing me to speed up the shutter a little bit. So I've gone from 1 second to about 1/10 of a second, and that seems to have made all the difference. I'm zoomed right in now at these trees here, because those little branches in the trunk that you can see are forming just absolutely beautiful little patterns with those reeds in the background and then the reflections in the foreground. So I'm really zoomed right in. In fact, let me switch it over to video mode and I'll show you what we're doing here. Yeah, this on the screen just now, that's the image that I'm looking at just now. So it's basically just that tree, the one next to it, the reflections. I love the patterns and that kind of soft feel that the reeds behind are giving it. So yeah, that's the shot for just now. Right, I've come a little bit further round and I kind of like this angle with those trees that I was shooting, the reeds that I was so taken with, and the reflections in the background. I've just noticed at the far end there's an old boathouse that I didn't notice before. I was tucked in away in here so I couldn't see it from these trees. So I think there's a shot there as well with a bit cliched, but you know, the reeds and the grasses, the lovely trees, reflections, boathouse, dead centre. Now I like this. I like this scene a lot. You've got everything that has been catching my eye today, really, all in one shot. You've got some beautiful mossy trees. You've got that little hint of colour in the background there with that yellowing tree. These other two branches give a little bit of context in terms of depth of field. We've got these reeds, these trees, and some lovely reflections in amongst the long grass in the water. Just to spice up a wee bit more, we've got a big mossy boulder and some fallen leaves. As you know, I'm quite partial to fallen leaves at the moment. Oh, I do like this. I think this has got potential, especially with the browning leaves there as well. And it's a nice soft light. This could well be one of my favourite shots of the day. Right, how's this for a cliched shot? I came over to see if I could make some more of this. I thought it was a tree at first. It's actually just leaves at the end of this branch. But I wanted to see if there was another shot that I could get with that. And then noticed we had the loch in the background, and then boom, if I come over here, you can get the boathouse perfectly framed by these trees. And the yellowing leaves there. So I'm afraid I'll probably be kicked out of any sort of creative photography club that I might want to join, but who doesn't like a naturally framed boathouse with perfect reflections? I appear to have made it to the end of the little peninsula, because there's the other side of the loch. Well, the good news is my car's still there. Unfortunately, there doesn't look to be an awful lot of great shots looking back the way, and that clown with the car there has totally ruined any shot of that. Oops. Yeah, back at that little colourful section, and it's just dawned on me that if that little burst of colour there is how the rest of this wood is going to look in just a couple of weeks' time, then I'm definitely coming back. Can you imagine all these trees with that kind of colour? Wow. Stay tuned, because I think I might be coming back to Loch Chon in another month. Beautiful. Right, before heading back to the car, I thought I would come down through the trees and look for one out and out woodland image, since I did say I was going to do some woodland photography. And I'm wondering if this is it. I kind of like those three trees, these huge moss covered boulders strewn around. You've got quite an interesting background. The light, not great, but it's soft, and it's it might lend itself to a kind of soft focus, dreamy effect when I'm coming to do the editing. I'm just looking around. We've also got that branch leaning over. That kind of frames the shot again. I could use this boulder in the foreground as the bottom part of the frame, and then you've got just a nice little intimate woodland scene with these four trees, boulders, mossy rocks. Yeah, I think I'll grab this shot again. Imagine how this is going to look when the autumn kicks in. So that's us for another video. Hope you enjoyed. Give us a little thumbs up if you did. If you haven't hit subscribe, then consider subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, I'll leave a link below. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff and photographs and video clips and stuff like that don't make it onto the YouTube channel. It's completely free. It's one newsletter a month. So feel free to subscribe to that. And in the meantime, I'll catch you in the next video, but I'll also catch you back here at Loch Chon, I think, because I'm going to be back in about 4 weeks. Anyway, catch you in the next one. Cheers, bye.